This broadcast is a Stephen K. Media production.
The success of the small business person is the cornerstone of the American economy. Welcome to the Small Business Today show with your hosts, Cruz and Hughes. The Small Business Today show is for and about small business advancement and development. What we do for you. We'll be taking your calls as we provide you small business intelligence and mentorship needed to grow your business creatively. Keep listening. The Small Business Today show with Cruz and Hughes starts now.
Hello and welcome back to today's episode of Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes, brought to you right here on Blog Talk Radio Monday through Friday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. This is the place where we discuss the topics that inspires entrepreneurs from thought to action, and we always welcome your questions, your calls, your comments, and if you want to give us a holler, you can do so right here in our studio at 347-857-3958. Again, that number here to the studio is 347-857-3958. Now, guys, I want to remind you that if you are in the Houston area, there is an event that's going on tomorrow. It is totally free. It starts at 10 a.m., and it's called Small Business Open Government Contracting Seminar. If you're a small business person and you sell anything, you might want to consider making the federal government or the state government or a local municipality one of your clients. The seminar is going to be held tomorrow, Friday, October 12th. The time is going to be from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. We won't keep you very long. It's going to be it's going to be given by our good friend Irvin Hughes. Irvin is not on the air with us today. He's in a business appointment. He could not make the show this afternoon, so I'll have to do it on my own. But nonetheless, I do encourage you guys to come out tomorrow. If you've ever considered what it takes to do business with the government, Irvin is going to share those things with you. It's going to be at the Kingdom Builders Center. If you want to go to this website to get registered, you can do so. It's www.sbo3.eventbrite.com. Look forward to seeing you guys there. Bring your questions and prepare to be entertained and educated. Now, I have a good friend of mine who is sitting to my right. If you're watching the show at cruzandhughes.com, you can see that I'm sitting here with someone who's other than my trusty co-host, Mr. Urban Hughes. I have Leonard Fosher here with us today. He is the president of a company called Core Curriculum. And Leonard has many years of experience as well as a list of accomplishments as an entrepreneur and educator to his credit. He was the founder of a 26 franchise office supply store chain in the Boston area, and he has mastered the art of franchising small businesses, and he also owns a company called Franchise Innovators. Now, Leonard possesses 2 degrees from the Boston Conservatory and is an adjunct professor right here at Houston Community College, where he teaches small business management classes. And I want to say welcome back to Small Business Today, Leonard. It's good to have you here.
Good afternoon, John, and it's a pleasure to be here and have worked together with you as we've once done in the past.
Absolutely. Well, since it's just you and I today, we can just take our time and do whatever we want. I mean, there's nobody here to tell us any different.
Terrific. I like the idea.
Well, Leonard, let's start out with the company that you have now. And I understand that you are a serial entrepreneur, and when you get behind something, you pour all of your passion into it, and you have become very passionate about Core Curriculum. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what is Core Curriculum?
Sure, John. Well, Core Curriculum is in this case, grade 3 to 12 tutoring company. There is a real need today for more and more tutoring to take place in the public and private schools across the country. Whether it be the lifestyle of Americans that have changed so much that children don't have the normal ways of adapting themselves to the typical classroom, or frankly, there might be skills that those students need. Probably anywhere from 25 to 30% of our students today can use some form of tutoring in different subjects. So Core Curriculum has been set up in such a way that most of our tutoring is going to take place in the manner of using technology, the latest video conferencing technology. That technology is based on browser-based kind of Skype-type video conferencing. Those are familiar with Skype certainly understand how that works. Well, this is a little bit different in the sense that it's very secure lines to be able to have the communication take place, and as a browser-based technology, we also have, besides video, live interactive online video, we also have a whiteboard. So as a normal teacher, I'm a teacher at HCC, as you know, as so many other teachers, we always go to the whiteboard or the old chalkboard.
Surely.
And having that tool and being able to teach is so critically important in making the instructors effective. So we've used this tool in such a way now that we can bring instructors, qualified instructors from anywhere in the country to the table to teach any subject matter that is needed to students in grades 3 to 12 on a one-to-one basis through the video conferencing technology.
So none of the tutoring is done on site.
Not through the corporate site as we have on our website. We have what we call corecurriculum.net, and that delivers only video conferencing tutoring. However, there is a franchise model.
Okay, so this is a separate model.
Right.
Okay, so the tutoring that's delivered through the website is done with students all over the United States.
That's right.
And the instructor can be anywhere in the United States.
That's right.
Okay.
Absolutely. And
very nice.
So what we've done is we qualified the instructors. So instructors that come in to us now have to be certified. And we actually are working with a company called tutorassociation.org, which is a certification making sure that the teachers have degrees, all right, or maybe state certified as instructors, and certainly we even do a criminal background. We can't afford to have anything going wrong, even in a video conferencing.
Interesting.
Between the teachers. So all our teachers are really top quality instructors, proven.
And they've been vetted.
They have.
Now, and as it relates to an instructor, you know that every state is different in terms of what a teacher has to, or what the requirements are to become a teacher.
Right.
Do you have a set standard, or is your standard above and beyond what all the states require in terms of what it takes to be a teacher?
Well, interestingly enough, instructors, in our case, are required to have state registration. Now, it could be retired teachers. There's plenty of really good teachers out there that retire, that have once had their state registration and certification, and they've been trained and educated. They've been educators, so they can come to the table and they can actually teach for us. However, some tutoring companies, as a matter of fact, tutoring is kind of one of those amorphous disciplines out there and services that are provided that students, even at high school and elementary school, are doing tutoring to other students.
Right.
And that's kind of fine. That's good. But when people pay CORE, our company, for tutoring, we want to make sure we deliver first high quality tutoring instructors to bring them to the table.
Now, give me an idea of what is the cost for tutoring? Let's say that, and I'm going to go back to my own situation when my daughter was, I want to say maybe in the 9th grade, the type of math that she was doing, it was that new math. It was beyond my scope of education, and so so as not to slow her down, I had to find a tutor for her. Yeah. So, what would it cost for me if I have a young student and they need some assistance in their math subject?
And you're not unlike a lot of parents. I mean, a lot of parents are so busy. They've got all these other activities. Their kids come home. They may be in the grade level now. They're getting to be a little bit more advanced.
Oh my goodness!
And they said, "Dad, help me with this."
And she would.
You're looking at it and say, "I remember those many years ago."
That's
right?
exact. And Lynn, it would take me an hour just to get back in the know before I could even get into helping her. And this might be past her bedtime. I'm like, I got to get somebody in here to help her with this.
Right. And you want to show leadership, and you want to show confidence, and you want to show all the things. But in reality, kids can see through.
Oh yeah, absolutely. She knew that I was struggling.
Dad's doing his best. So Dad needs to call in a professional.
That's right, like core curriculum.
Exactly.
Now, what would it cost me?
Well, we have what we call economical packages. We sell programs by the month. Now, people can test us. They can just do one tutoring session for $45.
Okay.
But if they do a package of once a week, it's $156.
Okay.
So it comes down. The price comes down by how many sessions you want.
Okay.
All right. And it makes it cost effective. Cost effective in the sense that we have to pay our teachers.
Absolutely.
All right, and they got to
Absolutely.
be paid well. And I think in terms of competition, you'll see that core instructors are paid better than most
Now
other
let's talk about the classroom setting, because if the model that exists where you're learning online, how many students? What's the ratio of students to teacher?
In our tutoring, it's 1-to-1. So
Is it really?
Yeah, oh yeah, we're talking 1-to-1 tutoring all the time.
Wow.
Now we also offer what we call a homework class, where just parents want to send their kids and say, after school today, join the class and get your homework monitored. So they may have some math homework they have to get
Okay.
look at and reviewed. So they will join a class of no more than 6 students, and there's one math teacher that's overlooking and working with 6 students, and we can do that by video conferencing.
Wow.
We can have 6 different individual activity of pictures and videos taking place at once.
You know, I really love the fact that you guys are utilizing technology to the fullest in order to give this sort of education information to these students. Because if you think about the type of child that exists today, Lynn, sometimes the parent isn't at home when the student gets home from school, and they don't have the ability to get a ride to go and sit in a tutoring session. But if they have an internet connection, they can get that level of help anywhere they need it.
It is so true. It's kind of amazing. Technology offers us so much, but there's always a lag time between we're able to connect with the technology. Remember the fax machine. It took a while for us to adjust to the fax machine.
That's right.
People said, "Why do we need it?"
That's right. And now,
Now it's passe.
It's passe. That's correct. Our guest today is Mr. Leonard Fosher. Leonard is the president of a company called Core Curriculum. If you'd like to check out what Leonard does online, you can go to his business website, which is www.corecurriculum.net. Stay with us. You're listening to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes. It's brought to you by the Small Business Today magazine, the magazine that is for and about Houston's entrepreneurs. If you want to get your free copy today, you can go to smallbusinesstodaymagazine.com, put your information in, and we'll send it to you each and every month. More in a minute. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
AnythingInternet.com. Anything Internet will evaluate your website for marketing power, for traffic, for conversion rates. We'll figure out why people buy and why people go away. We'll help you generate the correct traffic that will turn into customers and make you money. Turn the juice up on your website today with AnythingInternet.com. Turn your website into a web business. 1-800-686-5986.
Very often, people come to me saying,
Stephen, how do I make radio advertising work?
or even worse,
We've tried radio ads before and got little to no response.
so how do you make the radio work for you? Well, you could have a clever jingle.
Come buy my stuff. Come buy my stuff.
Or you may act crazy and loud and have an unbeatable offer.
I'll save you cash, I'll save you time, and I'll do it today, guaranteed.
But these techniques may work for some and not for others. The real key to advertising is to go back to basic marketing principles. Target your ideal prospect, make your message clear, concise, and touch the listener by connecting to their needs. Stephen K. Media specializes in radio advertising promotion that effectively broadcasts your company's message, yielding higher response and better results. As an independent agency representing major talk radio stations, we help you negotiate rates and place your ads targeting your ideal prospect. Call us today at 713-278-9109 or visit stephenk.biz. That's 713-278-9109 or email info@stephenk.biz. Are you looking to improve your health and well-being? Have you lost your energy and vitality? Do you wake up feeling 10 years older than you actually are? Looking for a doctor who really listens? Looking for a natural alternative to your chronic health challenge? Dr. Dan Cuny is a chiropractic nutritionist who helps restore your health from the inside out using whole food supplements and specific nutritional counseling. Learn more about Dr. Dan's 7 Pillars of Health on his website, drdancuny.com, or give him a call at 713-295-9358.
Introducing the alternative to heavy news. Now,
Excuse me, heavy news?
you know, disasters, politics, stock market,
And this alternative is...
coffee news. It's entertaining stories, famous quotes, and family fun. It's light news. Why it's so light, it's free.
free?
In restaurants and coffee shops all across Houston. So next time you're waiting in a restaurant, look for coffee news. If they don't have it, tell them to get it by visiting coffeenewshouston.com.
It's light. It's free. It's coffee news.
Now playing at Regal Entertainment Group Theaters.
From Christopher Nolan, the legend ends in IMAX. What are you? I'm Cosmos Reckoning. The Dark Knight Rises. Rated PG-13. Visit IMAX.com for showtimes and listings.
Go to www.regmovies.com to find showtimes and buy your tickets to this and other great feature films now. That's www.regmovies.com.
You're listening to Small Business Today. Visit us on the web at cruzandhughes.com. Here are your hosts, Cruz and Hughes.
Okay, welcome back to the show. If you're just joining in, our guest today is Mr. Leonard Fosher. Leonard is the president of a company called Core Curriculum. And as I said, going into the break, if you want to connect with Leonard, you can do so at his business website, which is www.corecurriculum.net. Now, what Core Curriculum does, it provides tutoring to school-age children. Now, Leonard, what are the ages again? Or what are the grades?
Well, we go from grades 3 to 12 because we really believe that, and looking at and talking with other educators, they believe that at grade 3, students are enabled to start working with technology
Surely.
in a reasonable basis. Probably a lot better than you and I.
Oh, absolutely. I would not doubt it. And I'm certain that I have actually seen a few kids who know some things better than I do as it relates to working with technology. But now, Core Curriculum, we talked about the fact that you guys provide tutoring online,
Yes.
and the student and the instructor could be in any 2 cities across the United States. The training is one-on-one, which is amazing to me. So the thing is that if 10,000 kids were to sign up for that, you'd have to have 10,000 instructors.
Well, one-on-one for each session, all right? So there may be different sessions taking
Throughout
place.
the week.
For example, each session lasts 45 minutes to an hour.
Okay.
So when we say that they have the instructor may be giving 4 sessions during a month, they have a lot more time available to give more sessions.
Yeah.
So it depends how many hours the instructor wants to put in the course of a day. Now, homeschooling is becoming very, very important, and of course that is during the day.
Certainly.
And so we're expecting a lot more interest coming in from those involved in homeschooling and charter schools, where they can really bring out and have the students lock into the finest teachers in all subject areas during the day. Traditionally, everybody thinks of tutoring occurring in the evening or in the weekend. In this case, it can be all times a day.
Okay. Now, we talked about in the last segment that you have a franchise component to this business as well. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, what we realize is there's lots of educators out there, really fine people that have spent enormous amounts of time and resources to bring about their education. And unfortunately, the country is going through cutbacks in a lot of areas. The states are cutting budgets. The towns are cutting budgets. Well, let's put a lot of teachers out of work.
Right.
And a lot of those teachers are trying to figure ways to get back into, keep going, keep their education, and make money out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So what we've done is we've created a franchise opportunity for those instructors. So to own a franchise, you need to be an educator, or you be associated, maybe married to an educator that can help you bring aboard and understand the language of education in your community.
Okay.
So you could buy a franchise from us, which incorporates 2 different parts. It really says you can run a local kind of traditional traditional on-location franchise, on-location tutoring service.
So I could have a storefront and invite kids to come in after school.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right. Or you could even run it out of your home, in which you hire tutors to go to different locations.
Okay.
All right, in different homes, and charge a special rate at these homes. Now, because teachers have to travel and go to there, the costs are higher.
Surely.
They have to be higher. There's no way of avoiding that, and that's pretty much true across the board. But there are some parents, and for some people, they need on-location tutoring. That doesn't go away. So what the franchise offers is the ability to say, we'll help you with that. We will create programs. We have a church ministry program. Mm-hmm. We have a prison program where people actually can go into the prison. We can offer tutoring there. There's different programs that franchises can enter into and profit by. They're already established. The rates are already established. We've created programs and have the franchise so that all the instructors are covered by insurance and proper insurance. So we've covered all of the details necessary for a franchise to have no risk or as little risk as possible and yet be able to advance quickly.
Okay.
In addition, and this is the second part, they're going to run into many people who say, well, I don't have the time. I can't bring my student. I can't have you come into my location, and I can't afford your prices. Then they say, go to corecurriculum.net, sign up with that program, and they receive 40% of all the gross profits for those particular tutoring offerings in their zip code territory.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So if I buy a franchise, then I'm protected by zip code.
Yes, you are.
Really?
You're right. That's how we market it, so
Okay.
that everybody gets in. The average zip code runs between 25 and 35,000 people. That's across the United States. That's how the Postal Service set it up. That it's a really good area. For example, I live in Sugar Land, Texas.
Okay.
It's a up and coming community. We have 4 zip codes. So if somebody said, well, I want the entire community, well, we have a program that says you can buy one zip code for a really low price right now. It's $7,900.
Okay.
That becomes your franchise territory. And if you want additional zip codes, it's another $1,000 beyond that.
Wow, that's
right.
Really affordable.
Well, it says an entry level. This is our launch. We're looking to have core curriculum, almost like Subway, that it's in every community across the country.
I really like that, and you think about it, especially as it relates to Texas. I'm not speaking for the rest of the country, but in one zip code you could have 3 or 4 schools, 3 or 4 high
Absolutely.
schools. I mean, there's a ton of opportunity there for you.
Right.
And for $7,900, especially for a teacher, if they have been downsized or they've been the victim of cutbacks, this is an excellent opportunity for them to continue to do what they love. And make a business out of it.
Once I was a public school teacher myself.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
For 14 years.
Really?
And with a lot of dedication I had towards my students and the programs that I taught. And teachers do that. They commit themselves, and you commit yourself to the community, to the school, to your educational process. But what's remaining is you don't have a lot of income coming in. There's no... Sometimes, maybe you could be a football coach or a music instructor to get extra money for after school events, but it's really hard for teachers to make really solid, good living.
Right.
So this gives them additional income, or for that matter, they could have all their income. And one thing I didn't mention is we pay our instructors $20 per 45 minutes to an hour instruction.
Okay.
But if they do a classroom, which we're going to be doing more and more class instruction.
Because the classroom is 6 students.
Right.
Okay.
And no more than 6.
No more than 6.
At 3 to 6. So if they do that, if they handle that, we pay the instructors $40 per session. So that gets to be pretty good money.
Wow.
On a regular basis. And they can be working from their home. There's no requirement for them to be driving or doing anything. They can just have one session after another. They can build up a business just handling this.
Now, if someone was interested in starting a franchise and getting more information, could they also go to the website and get that information?
Absolutely.
Now, the website, again, I want to say is corecurriculum.net. If you're interested in becoming a franchisee, I mean, that is, to me, it's such a nominal price, $7,900, and you can buy additional zip codes. Now, how many zip codes can I buy? Let's say that I'm getting greedy and I want to buy 20 more zip codes. Is that a possibility?
No. No. And part of the reason is we want everybody to be as effective as they can. It's not about how much land or property or territory you own. It's being as good as you can and be in that territory and being effective. So if you're in Sugar Land, as I mentioned before, you want the community, there's 4 zip codes in that community.
Right.
That makes sense. But if you're going to be in Missouri City, an adjoining town to Sugar Land,
right,
then it's a different world out there. It's a different school system because we have programs that address the school systems.
Right.
And we have our instructors go in and meet the administration of the school, offering programs to those students. So we have a whole program ready to launch with instructors, with teachers that know and understand the educational business.
And then, too, I think, for a teacher that's looking to become an entrepreneur and perhaps buy a franchise, they have to understand that growth costs money. So if you are, taking on more than you can, market to, taking on more than you can provide a service for, you could really do a disservice to yourself and your business.
Absolutely.
So,
right.
so I like the fact that you keep it, moderately set so that they can have some growth there.
And we're looking at part of our responsibility is kind of like R&D, research and development into the future. So once we get those franchises going, up and running, there's more things they can do to bring education and improve education in their area, and at the same time make some money for it. It's kind of like McDonald's. When they first opened up, they sold the hamburger, the French fry, and that was it.
Yeah,
then breakfasts, then salads,
and then now the coffee and everything else that comes along with it. So it's going to it's scalable.
Oh yeah, it is absolutely. That's our intent, and there's a real need for it.
Wow. Now we're going to go into break. When we come back, I want to talk about why tutoring. Why did you do this business? And I want you to get into some of the reasons that have inspired you to do this. And then too, I want to talk a little bit about some of the things that we've learned, like watching the video Waiting for Superman. I didn't realize how bad off education was in this country until I saw that documentary, and it really struck a nerve with me.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you've had an opportunity to see it.
I haven't.
Okay.
To be honest with you. I've been pretty busy, but you've got me now wondering. I've got to do it.
I'm certain that Waiting for Superman was a great documentary, and it talked about the state of education in this country, and it just really blew me away and opened my eyes. Yeah. More in a moment with Leonard Fosher. Leonard is the president of a company called Core Curriculum. If you want to learn more about Core Curriculum and what it does, if you have a student who perhaps needs some tutoring in a particular subject, you can go to Core Curriculum. If you are an out-of-work teacher or a teacher who's looking to expand your entrepreneurial wings, you can go to Core Curriculum and consider buying a franchise. The web address again is www.corecurriculum.net. You're listening to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes, which is brought to you by Sales Nexus. Sales Nexus is a CRM software that will help you improve the sales in your small business. To get a free pass to what Sales Nexus does, you can go to salesnexus.com. More in a moment with Len Fosher.
Turn up the sales on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Anything Internet will evaluate your website for marketing power, for traffic, for conversion rates. We'll figure out why people buy and why people go away. We'll help you generate the correct traffic that will turn into customers and make you money. Turn the juice up on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Turn your website into a web business. 1-800-686-5986.
Very often, people come to me saying,
Stephen, how do I make radio advertising work?
Or even worse,
we've tried radio ads before and got little to no response.
So how do you make the radio work for you? Well, you could have a clever jingle.
Come buy my stuff. Come buy my stuff.
Or you may act crazy and loud and have an unbeatable offer.
I'll save you cash. I'll save you time, and I'll do it today, guaranteed.
But these techniques may work for some and not for others. The real key to advertising is to go back to basic marketing principles. Target your ideal prospect, make your message clear and concise, and touch the listener by connecting to their needs. Stephen K. Media specializes in radio advertising promotion that effectively broadcasts your company's message, yielding higher response and better results. As an independent agency representing major talk radio stations, we help you negotiate rates and place your ads targeting your ideal prospect. Call us today at 713-278-9109 or visit stephenk.biz. That's 713-278-9109 or email info@stephenk.biz. Are you looking to improve your health and well-being? Have you lost your energy and vitality? Do you wake up feeling 10 years older than you actually are? Looking for a doctor who really listens? Looking for a natural alternative to your chronic health challenge? Dr. Dan Cuney is a chiropractic nutritionist who helps restore your health from the inside out using whole food supplements and specific nutritional counseling. Learn more about Dr. Dan's 7 Pillars of Health on his website, drdancuney.com, or give him a call at 713-295-9358.
Introducing the alternative to heavy news. Now at...
Excuse me, heavy news?
You know, disasters, politics, stock market.
And this alternative is...
Coffee news. It's entertaining stories, famous quotes, and family fun. It's light news. Why it's so light, it's free.
Free?
In restaurants and coffee shops all across Houston. So next time you're waiting in a restaurant, look for coffee news. If they don't have it, tell them to get it by visiting coffeenewshouston.com.
It's light. It's free. It's coffee news.
Now playing at Regal Entertainment Group Theaters.
From Christopher Nolan, the storm coming. The legend ends in IMAX. What are you? I'm Gotham's Reckoning. The Dark Knight Rises. Rated PG-13. Visit IMAX.com for showtimes and listings.
Go to www.regmovies.com to find showtimes and buy your tickets to this and other great feature films now. That's www.regmovies.com.
You're listening to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes. Follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. We're wherever you are.
Okay, welcome back to the show. Our guest today is Mr. Leonard Fosher. He is the president of Core Curriculum, and we're talking about Leonard's business. And Core Curriculum is a business that educates young children by way of tutoring. If you have a student that needs some tutoring, you can go on to Core Curriculum's website. They will pair you with an instructor, and you can pay for the types of tutoring and how much tutoring that is needed for your child. Now, Leonard, we just talked in the last segment about the business aspect of what you do, that you are also selling franchises for those people who want to get into this business. And I really see, I mean, at the rate that they're building schools in this country, that lets you know that there's a lot of opportunity for a business like this to exist, because these kids are, there's no way that one kid is going to get all of the education that he or she needs sitting in a room with 30 or 40 other students.
It's virtually impossible. And, you know, there's a dynamic taking place out there all the time. And you hear it, certainly you hear it from our politicians. And it's the, well, they blame on education, bad education is blamed on teachers and teachers' unions. And then if you listen carefully, the teachers, which are not really overpaid, and realize that, hey, listen, you know, who's running the place?
True.
It's the politicians.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
the buck always stops where? At the top.
Yeah.
All right, who runs the schools?
Yeah.
The politicians run.
So there's only so much a teacher can do to enact or impact change. So
we ask a lot of our teachers.
Absolutely.
All right, and we're asking them to be socially conscious about what's going on in the classroom. This new concern about bullying. Let's make sure our students aren't bullying. Well, imagine you have 30 or 40 students in your class. How in the world can you see and watch to see that there's bullying taking place
we just
or
had a gentleman here on the show just yesterday that has a program about bullying that goes into the schools and helps teachers not only identify but how to cope with, how to mitigate and remediate those issues. But that takes them away from what they're there for, and that is to teach our students.
Exactly.
So I can understand where you're coming from.
Yeah. So what we're trying to do is we're looking at it and say, look, this is a grassroots efforts by people that care.
Yeah.
We care as a business. We may have to make money, but we're also looking at programs in which we can look at those families that come from low social economic circumstances. They can't afford even our tutoring.
Yeah.
So we're looking now, we have a board of advisors. You may see it on our website. And those people are looking into programs that the states offer and the federal government have in grants that could be monies turned over for tutoring, very cost-effective tutoring that we can offer, and offer them to those students and get quality tutoring taking place. We also do something else. We offer free webinars on a weekly basis by certain specific topics pertaining to education that are free to parents. We really want to get the parents involved.
It's essential, in my opinion.
It is. And a lot of parents, you know, they have the time, they don't have the time. But what we're going to do is we have these are audio on, you know, join our free seminar. Just pick up the phone, listen, and then partake in that webinar. And these are top quality. Some of them are National Teachers of the Year. They will offer their expertise on a weekly basis in certain subject areas. And we could be talking about, you know, the transition from a sixth grade to the middle school, or I'm sorry, from the fifth grade to the middle school situation, and how you adjust for that. Or there's so many different areas where parents need to be really understanding of their students. It's so important. We used to say there's no such thing as a bad kid. It was always a bad parent as a teacher. All right. So, we got to work on both sides. Now, if you go up to here in the Houston area, we have the Woodlands. Great school system, great supportive parents.
Right.
Everybody's there, no problem.
Yes.
But that's not the majority of the country.
Yes.
That's not the majority of what's happening in Houston.
Right.
So we've got to address that, and we have programs that we're going to make sure that we do, because we want our results, we want it to be effective, and we want our program to grow and really be appreciated by, more importantly, by the student. That years down the road, they can say, I learned something.
Yes. Now, one of the programs that you have is that someone, or you can donate tutoring to students.
Yes.
Now,
right.
now, how does that work?
Well, our board of directors are creating right now a nonprofit. They've already created the nonprofit company, and so what it means is that somebody that's retired, and they're comfortable. There's no reason, they don't really need the money.
Right.
All right, or they've got even if they're not retired, they see a need of donating their service to earmarked for the low social economic needs of a community.
Wow.
So they can say, we offer free tutoring. So what we do is then take that tutoring and offer it to the students.
So you'll be giving scholarships based on what
Yes,
the nonprofit is able
exactly.
to raise.
Right,
I
right.
love that.
And then give the teacher or the instructor a letter for kind of in-kind services, so that they get a tax credit for donating their
They
their
write
time.
their time off.
Exactly.
That's right.
It's
Now,
perfectly legal.
I really see this being something that large corporations could really get behind as well, to do something good for the community.
Yeah.
I mean, man, that is
Yeah.
a great idea.
Yeah, we see large corporations placing tremendous national advertising monies
Yeah.
into the theoretical support of education. Well, in this case, they can give it directly right to the source. Make sure the student gets it.
Our guest today is Mr. Leonard Fosher. Leonard is the president of a company called Core Curriculum. If you have a student that is in need of tutoring, I definitely encourage you to go to Core Curriculum's website. The site again is www.corecurriculum.net. If you are also interested in owning a franchise and doing your part, not only in terms of running your own business, but doing something that really impacts the community and fills a need in such a positive way, Lynn's company is also selling franchises. I think, Lynn, you said the cost of a franchise is the low price of $7,900.
First year only, $7,900.
$7,900. So if you're interested in that, if you are an educator and you're looking to start something, you might want to give some consideration to doing this. And you can go again to corecurriculum.net and get more information on the subject. Now, Lynn, I got to ask you now. What made you so passionate about this? What made you want to start this business?
Well, I came from pretty humble beginnings.
Okay.
Right, from an Irish Catholic family, the oldest, and a lot of struggle during my parents in terms of trying to raise money to send their kids to school.
Okay.
And I had the good fortune of going to a parochial school in my last couple of years, where the nuns came in and they gave some really good strict discipline.
They regulated the situation.
Yeah, they slapped us around.
And you probably needed it.
Yeah, we did. No question. So I appreciated that. And then I ended up going on to a pretty good school that had great academics as well as music. The Boston Conservatory had a combination of both. And I was a music ed major.
Okay.
Which I then began so I've had the experience of being a teacher in the public schools, and taught in poor communities, taught in very affluent communities outside of Boston,
Mm-hmm.
and ended up becoming a director of music, supervisor for the community. But I've seen education pretty much at all levels, because I've taught at the college level.
Okay.
And then later became a trustee at my alma mater, the Boston Conservatory, for 5 years. And I was on the academic affairs committee.
Okay.
Conservatory tends to, their tuition at $52,000 a year tends to look towards more of those individual students that come from fairly affluent backgrounds.
That's right.
Absolutely. So what I want to see, looking at my roots, is to say, how do we get education right to everybody? Everybody deserves that right.
That's right.
And those students, those kids out there that we know today that want to make something of themselves, how do we do that? We got to give them the fundamentals of the academics.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I got from the good nuns. All
That's
right?
right.
They slapped me into position. Hey, this is what you learn. You've got to really be able to write, and you got to read, and you got to have to understand math and everything going forward. Everybody's got to do that, and we're not doing that in the schools today.
Right.
We've compromised. Instead of challenging our students to reach to the top, we're aiming to the middle. Not because of the teachers, it's because the system The system's got problems.
Hmm.
Everybody's saying, well, let's move the students on. It's expensive to keep another student in school another year.
Yeah.
So, the pressure is you don't do that.
Yeah.
And that comes from on high at the administration level.
And so I guess with that being said, doing your part is helping those students right where they are.
Absolutely. Grassroots effects.
Yeah.
We all can make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
And good Lord, I've been fortunate to have some wonderful experiences. So in this particular case, let me use those experiences to help advance something that will really help kids at all grade levels, from grades 3 to 12.
Now, let me ask you about this. Now, I do know that we put a lot of emphasis on standardized testing. Do you going to have programs that are focused on helping college level kids pass the ACT test or pass the PSAT test with flying colors so they can get into the school of their choice?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's always a concern, and you will see already we're starting to move in that direction.
Okay.
Because there is a need out there, and there's a need where we can address in a small class size.
Okay.
So we can offer small class sizes in the SAT preparation, which we're doing, and that will be expanded. Now, interestingly enough, down the road, not too far distant, we're going to be looking at taking this franchise internationally and creating international licenses for core curriculum for major countries throughout the world. Right now, we're looking for instructors to teach in all languages. Wow. So you can actually go on to our website, and you can change our website, as you can do for a lot of websites, into different languages. But you can say, I want my son to be able to learn calculus in Spanish.
Or Mandarin.
In Mandarin, exactly.
Wow.
Right. Now, we just met with a wonderful delegation from China. And to answer your question, their concern was, we need to have our students in China learn English, because we understand the relationship. It's so important for them to understand English. So I said, we can arrange for some Chinese Americans to teach English. And they said, no. We want Americans, traditional Americans that understand and can speak it normally, not like the Chinese do. That way we can be like you and speak that way.
Wow.
So that carries over to so many other things. And they also want to get into our schools and colleges, so they want to be able to have testing and understand SAT testing. So now we're looking at international rights to setting up franchising in those countries.
Our guest is Mr. Leonard Fosher. Leonard is the president of Core Curriculum. If you'd like to connect with Len, you can do so by going to corecurriculum.net and find more information out about the business that Len has started that deals with teaching or educating students right where they are. Guys, stay with us. We'll be back in a moment. This segment has been brought to you by Small Business A Day magazine, the magazine that is for and about Houston's entrepreneurs. To get your copy, you can go to smallbusinessadaymagazine.com, put your information in, and we'll send it to you every single month. We'll be back in just a second.
Turn up the sales on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Anything Internet will evaluate your website for marketing power, for traffic, for conversion rates. We'll figure out why people buy and why people go away. We'll help you generate the correct traffic that will turn into customers and make you money. Turn the juice up on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Turn your website into a web business. 1-800-686-5986.
Very often, people come to me saying,
Stephen, how do I make radio advertising work?
Or even worse,
We've tried radio ads before and got little to no response.
so how do you make the radio work for you? Well, you could have a clever jingle.
Come buy my stuff. Come buy my stuff.
Or you may act crazy and loud and have an unbeatable offer.
I'll save you cash, I'll save you time, and I'll do it today, guaranteed.
But these techniques may work for some and not for others. The real key to advertising is to go back to basic marketing principles. Target your ideal prospect, make your message clear and concise, and touch the listener by connecting to their needs. Stephen K. Media specializes in radio advertising promotion that effectively broadcasts your company's message, yielding higher response and better results. As an independent agency representing major talk radio stations, we help you negotiate rates and place your ads targeting your ideal prospect. Call us today at 713-278-9109 or visit stephenk.biz. That's 713-278-9109 or email info@stephenk.biz. Are you looking to improve your health and well-being? Have you lost your energy and vitality? Do you wake up feeling 10 years older than you actually are? Looking for a doctor who really listens? Looking for a natural alternative to your chronic health challenge? Dr. Dan Cooney is a chiropractic nutritionist who helps restore your health from the inside out using whole food supplements and specific nutritional counseling. Learn more about Dr. Dan's 7 Pillars of Health on his website, drdancooney.com, or give him a call at 713-295-9358.
Introducing the alternative to heavy news. Now at,
Excuse me, heavy news?
you know, disasters, politics, stock market.
And this alternative is
Coffee news. It's entertaining stories, famous quotes, and family fun. It's light news. Why it's so light, it's free.
free.
In restaurants and coffee shops all across Houston. So next time you're waiting in a restaurant, look for coffee news. If they don't have it, tell them to get it by visiting coffeenewshouston.com.
It's light. It's free. It's coffee news.
Now playing at Regal Entertainment Group Theaters.
From Christopher Nolan. The storm's coming. The legend ends in IMAX. What are you? I'm Gotham Circuiting. The Dark Knight Rises. Rated PG-13. Visit IMAX.com for showtimes and listings.
Go to www.regmovies.com to find showtimes and buy your tickets to this and other great feature films now. That's www.regmovies.com.
You're listening to Small Business Today. Visit us on the web at cruzandhughes.com. Here are your hosts, Cruz and Hughes.
Okay, welcome back to the show. Our guest today is Mr. Leonard Fosher, and his business is Core Curriculum. If you have a student that is in need of some educational help, some additional tutoring outside of what he or she receives at the school level, you can go to corecurriculum.net and you can find a tutor. It's one-on-one tutoring. The thing I love most about this, it meets the need of the child right where the child is. So your child can do this from the comfort of their own home. You don't have to take the child anywhere. They can log right onto their computer. The instructor logs on. There's a whiteboard there so the student can see what the instructor is doing and get that level of education that's needed to supplement what the student does on a daily basis. Now, Lynn, we talked about at the very first segment that you are also a professor over at Houston Community College. And you teach small business courses. Tell me about some of the courses that you teach.
Well, my prime course that I really look forward to teaching, first of all, maybe back up a bit. I really appreciate the opportunity of teaching at the college level. I really like being with young people.
And I used to teach there myself, and it was one of the things that I absolutely adored the most in my career. It was just a great time.
They're like, young people, and I say young people because I have students anywhere from, when you're in the classroom, you're a young person. All right? Period.
Right. Period. That's right.
I had one student who was like 67 years old, older than I was. and she was a great-grandmother. All right, and she's
coming to take business classes.
She's going to open a nursing program
Really?
for one of. Anyway, it was kind of a thing. But I think to be with students that are absorbing, that want to learn, that want to be there, and that's why they're in college. Now, there are times we have to kind of wake everybody up.
Right.
Come in at 8:00 course in the morning.
Yeah.
So I have to kind of jab them a bit, but
Yeah.
but I enjoy teaching it. So I just wanted to mention that. And I also think the community college serves as a terrific vehicle to address those people that can't afford to take a Rice University MBA program.
Certainly.
Jones School of Business.
Certainly.
Great programs, don't get me wrong. Terrific programs.
If you can get in.
If you can get in and you can come up with $100,000 for the program.
That's right.
So this is a different vehicle. This is coming to a community college where you can now take accounting, you can take marketing courses, you can take sales courses, all the necessities to be able to build a business. And my course I specialize in is one called Small Business Management.
Okay.
And essentially what we do is come into the class and you come up with an idea. That idea you have, and then we put it before the class and we decide, is that idea worthy enough to go on to become a business? An opportunity to be able to make money out of it. And how do you make money out of it? So the class themselves kind of votes up or down the idea, whether they should go forward with it or not.
So they all vote on it.
They all vote on it, and everybody does it. And so now they move then to the next stage of, hey, we got to write a business plan. Because this is theory, it's great, it's going to make money. Well, how does it make money? And how much money are you going to charge? So we go through this different steps of identifying, well, the industry. What is the industry like? Is it an industry that's going to grow? I mean, who wants to step into an industry that's dying? The old tape recorders,
That's right, or VCRs, or
something that's right.
something that's has limited time on this earth.
Exactly. So we watch that carefully, and again, the class will have input. There's a lot of collaboration that goes on. We break the class into small groups, and they exchange ideas when they're groups, and they come up actually and make presentations. So being able to speak in front of the class, very important.
Right.
And speak well as best they can.
As best they can.
And they're at different levels. So we take them through the different phases of the business plan, move it forward. Then, of course, we address really the language of business is money. It's dollars and cents.
That's right.
So they're
and that's universal.
Yeah, there's no getting around it.
That's right.
You can have a pretty store somewhere. That doesn't mean you're making money.
Right.
So we could get right in very quickly to understanding a profit and loss statement.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. Let's create one. Let's understand it. Let's where it works. Then they have to work on projections for their company. Are they going to make money or not? Mm-hmm. And they determine that by creating a month-by-month profit and loss statement for 3 years.
Really?
Yeah. So we do go through that while we're also doing the narrative section of the business plan.
Okay.
And then we carve that into the end. Okay, now we see 3 years. Now we have to do the balance sheet. The balance sheet,
right.
All right, and the balance sheet says, hey, this is where it is. Is this company making money? Is this, what is the health of this business, financial health? So they have to interpret and they have to read financial statements and they have to learn. So by the time they finish the course, they've written a business plan, and half their grade is they submit 2 copies of a business plan to me, complete, beginning to end, and then I grade their business plan and return 1 copy, and I keep a copy. Sometimes the school wants to see the copy.
Okay.
All right. So all of those things go on to really substantive information that we deliver. I, as a teacher, try to help them really generate a business that works. We've had some amazing results. And I say that because I wrote an article in the Small Business Today magazine,
yes,
matter of fact, not long ago.
Yes, you did.
And it was entitled "The Community Colleges, the New Business School." And I want to give you an example of how that works. So I don't know if this is a good time to go into that detail.
No, go right ahead.
We had in one class of 25 students, I had a class from 15 different students from 15 different countries. It was really amazing. And the language, they were from the Congo, they were from Vietnam, they were from Korea, they were from India, they were from Pakistan, they were from England, they were from Canada, all over the country. And I was, look, this is like amazing to me.
Right.
I said, feel like I'm at Harvard, and being Bostonian and taking a few economic courses at Harvard. They were from around the world.
That's right.
All different accents, everything else. And what I've learned is that many of these students are coming here because they are maybe 1 or 2 year visas, and that they come to take courses so they can actually start a business back home.
Wow.
And they will do that. So we've had students in that class. We had students from Vietnam who started. One young woman had financial backing already. She came here to learn in my class, how to write the business plan. She was going right back, and she was going to put in a sports bar in Ho Chi Minh City, the old Saigon.
Wow.
So those people, Vietnam area people like myself, look, it's kind of amazing how America comes back in some form or another.
That's right.
There will be a sports bar in downtown.
And what I love about that is that these aren't students that are just coming in to just, they're stuck in choosing this as an elective or something like that. These are students that are hungry for that knowledge, and they are going to aggressively put into practice what they learn in your class.
And that's really remarkable, because the conviction of the students is really amazing to me. I had a young woman last class that was from Guinea in Africa, and she and her family, she told me, I said, well, do you come from some of the upper class families in Guinea? Mm-hmm. Thinking maybe that's how she got here. No. She said, she had 3 sisters, and her parents had to sell land for her to come to Houston Community College.
So that was a huge
to do this.
sacrifice that they had to make. Wow.
Incredible.
Our guest today is Mr. Leonard Fosher. He is the president of Core Curriculum. He did write an article that is titled Community College, the New Business School. You can search for that article on our magazine website at www.smallbusinesstodaymagazine.com. More with Leonard in just a moment. Stay with us.
AnythingInternet.com. Anything Internet will evaluate your website for marketing power, for traffic, for conversion rates. We'll figure out why people buy and why people go away. We'll help you generate the correct traffic that will turn into customers and make you money. Turn the juice up on your website today with AnythingInternet.com. Turn your website into a web business. 1-800-686-5986.
Very often, people come to me saying,
Stephen, how do I make radio advertising work?
or even worse,
We've tried radio ads before and got little to no response.
so how do you make the radio work for you? Well, you could have a clever jingle.
Come buy my stuff. Come buy my stuff.
Or you may act crazy and loud and have an unbeatable offer.
I'll save you cash, I'll save you time, and I'll do it today, guaranteed.
But these techniques may work for some and not for others. The real key to advertising is to go back to basic marketing principles. Target your ideal prospect, make your message clear and concise, and touch the listener by connecting to their needs. Stephen K. Media specializes in radio advertising promotion that effectively broadcasts your company's message, yielding higher response and better results. As an independent agency representing major talk radio stations, we help you negotiate rates and place your ads targeting your ideal prospect. Call us today at 713-278-9109 or visit stephenk.biz. That's 713-278-9109 or email info@stephenk.biz. Are you looking to improve your health and well-being? Have you lost your energy and vitality? Do you wake up feeling 10 years older than you actually are? Looking for a doctor who really listens? Looking for a natural alternative to your chronic health challenge? Dr. Dan Cooney is a chiropractic nutritionist who helps restore your health from the inside out using whole food supplements and specific nutritional counseling. Learn more about Dr. Dan's 7 Pillars of Health on his website, drdancooney.com, or give him a call at 713-295-9358.
Introducing the alternative to heavy news. Now,
Excuse me, heavy news?
you know, disasters, politics, stock market,
And this alternative is...
coffee news. It's entertaining stories, famous quotes, and family fun. It's light news. Why it's so light, it's free.
Free?
In restaurants and coffee shops all across Houston. So next time you're waiting in a restaurant, look for coffee news. If they don't have it, tell them to get it by visiting coffeenewshouston.com.
It's light. It's free. It's coffee news.
Now playing at Regal Entertainment Group Theaters.
From Christopher Nolan. The storm coming. The legend ends in IMAX. What are you? I'm The Dark Knight Rises. Rated PG-13. Visit IMAX.com for showtimes and listings.
Go to www.regmovies.com to find showtimes and buy your tickets to this and other great feature films now. That's www.regmovies.com.
You're listening to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes. Follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. We're wherever you are.
Okay, welcome back to the show. Our guest today has been Mr. Leonard Fosher. He is the president of Core Curriculum. If you want to connect with him, you could go to www.corecurriculum.net. Len, we only have a couple more minutes, and we've talked a little bit about everything. We've talked about your business. We've talked about the classes that you teach at Houston Community College. I do have to say that I'm impressed with what you're doing, and you know, I kind of sort of agree that community college is the new business school, because where else can you go and have a instructor that has done just as much in the business world as he is doing in the classroom? You're not teaching theoretical practices, you're teaching based on experience. I mean, you've started businesses, you've done it.
That's right.
So
That's right.
I love that.
Yeah. No, and I enjoy doing it. And, you know, there's a lot of good teachers, not just me.
Yeah.
All right. There's a lot of great teachers at that school. And I've talked with them, and I know that they're doing everything they can. But there's kind of like an image, well, that's just a community school. Well, education is not just anything. It's about knowledge and taking that knowledge and moving forward with it. Whether you get a PhD out of Harvard or you get an associate degree out of the community college, it doesn't make a difference. It's what you have inside you to move it forward. It's what you take out of education.
Now, and if you could give our young entrepreneurs a word of advice to remember, what would it be?
Just believe in yourself. It's
Okay.
so critically important in the world where everybody looks at you and say, well, everybody's doing this, or you can't do this.
Mm-hmm.
You do it. You believe in it. You stick with it, and you make it happen.
Our guest has been Mr. Leonard Falsher. He is the president of Core Curriculum. You can connect with Leonard at corecurriculum.net. Len, I appreciate you so much, and I'm sure I'll have you on again soon.
My pleasure, John. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you. Guys, I want to thank you for tuning in to Small Business Today, which has been brought to you by Small Business Today Magazine. You can log on to www.smallbusinesstodaymagazine.com to have your free digital monthly edition sent to your email inbox every single month. I'm John Cruz, and this is the place where we discuss the topics that inspires entrepreneurs from thought to action. So until tomorrow, be smart, be successful, and above all else, be in action. And I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.